गुड मॉर्निंग कैसे हैं आप सब। स्वागत है आपका एक बार फिर से इस लाइव स्ट्रीम पर, ब्रॉट यू एज ऑलवेज बाय द गुड पीपल एट डाफा न्यूज। मैं हूं जेमी ऑल्टर। I've got my cup of coffee. I'm all set. I've got cricket on my mind, and I've got all you lovely subscribers and viewers and friends on my mind. तो एक कप कॉफी, एक सिप कॉफी लेकर आज का प्रोग्राम शुरू करते हैं। क्या बात है, क्या बात है, क्या बात है। कौन कौन जोड़ा है मेरे साथ? मनीष सोलंकी saying good morning. मनीष कह रहे अश्विन paved the way for Parag heroics. Do you find Pant match fit? He might have regained fitness but looks undercooked. Well, he looks very fit. It's the fittest I've seen Rishabh Pant, and given all that's gone on with him, Manish, I'll say it again, it's a miracle that Rishabh Pant is even playing the IPL less than 15 months after a horrific car crash that nearly cost him his life. So I'm the last person who's going to be critical of how he looks, how he's fielding. He's looking fine to me. Of course, जाहिर सी बात है कि वो 100% अभी तक नहीं आएंगे, बट ये ताज्जुब की बात है कि ऋषभ पंत, सारे मेडिकल टीम, एनसीए वाले, सारे डॉक्टर्स और सपोर्ट स्टाफ के चलते वापस मैदान पर उतरे हैं. That said, there will come a time where if the returns are not stacking up for Delhi Capitals, we'll have to ask the tough questions. But right now, 2 matches in, I mean, he's scoring runs. He's never been the best T20 player. आप तो जानते हैं कि ऋषभ पंत का सबसे बड़ा जो मैदान है वो टेस्ट मैदान है. अभी भी T20 में कुछ ज्यादा खास वो अचीव नहीं कर पाए, तो उस लिहाज से I don't think we should be expecting him to walk back and start hitting 34 or 15 balls. He's not that kind of player. More than the batting, it's the way he's been behind the stumps. I've been very, very pleased to see how normal, how natural Rishabh Pant has looked behind the stumps. Anyways, आते हैं आप वापस आपके सवाल जवाब के सिलसिले पर, लेकिन दो खिलाड़ी ने मुझे कल बहुत प्रभावित किया कल के मैच के बाद. एक ऑफ कोर्स रियान पराग, 84 नॉट आउट ऑफ 44 बॉल्स, a somewhat leaner, fitter, muscular version of रियान पराग. हम जानते हैं कि पिछले 3 साल से वो खेल रहे हैं, कम से कम 3 साल राजस्थान रॉयल्स के साथ, कुछ ज्यादा हासिल नहीं कर पाए. अलग अलग कारण है इसके पीछे. Not having a fixed batting position. When he does bat, it's often been at number 6, 7. Very, very tough. But this version of Riyan Parag, आप कह सकते हो माफी चाहूंगा, Riyan Parag 2.0, to come back looking fitter. But सबसे बड़ी बात, taking that domestic form. We saw कि सईद मुश्ताक अली ट्रॉफी में कितने उन्होंने 50 मारे. उस फॉर्म को आईपीएल में लाकर एक चीज. दूसरी चीज, नंबर 4 पर बैटिंग करना और नंबर 4 पे खेलकर उस पोजीशन का लाभ उठाना. ये हमने देखा है 2 पारियों में. पहले मैच में अच्छी कैमियो खेली, लेकिन कल का इनिंग्स, his highest IPL score, the shots, the way the shots came off, again not the best bowling attack. दिल्ली कैपिटल्स के पास कुछ खास bowling attack नहीं है, लेकिन जिस तरह से almost single handedly 22 साल के रियान पराग ने टीम का स्कोर वहां तक वो उसको लेकर गए जहां से मैच जीत सके. I think this is the result of a more focused Riyan Parag. पर Riyan Parag जो फाइनली काफी समय के बाद, बहुत सीजन के बाद, एक फिक्स्ड बैटिंग पोजीशन का फायदा उठा सकते हैं. I hope Rajasthan Royals persist with him at number 4. He's only 22, 23. He could be playing for India in some years to come. बहुत बहुत दूर की बात है, लेकिन फिलहाल for Riyan Parag, for Rajasthan Royals and for Rajasthan Royals fan base, मेरे हिसाब से बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि रियान पराग इस बेहतरीन फॉर्म को आगे लेकर जाए, because he's too good a talent. We've seen it, we've seen the inconsistency, we've heard about his domestic success, लेकिन आईपीएल से बड़ा कोई प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं है, कोई मैदान नहीं है युवा इंडियन प्लेयर्स के लिए. तो वेल डन रियान पराग एंड राजस्थान रॉयल्स. दूसरा खिलाड़ी दोस्तों, आवेश खान खेल चुके हैं देश के लिए वनडेज, T20 खास और टेस्ट स्क्वाड के मेंबर रह चुके हैं, लेकिन अब तक उनको टेस्ट मैचेस में मौका नहीं मिला. यदि वो ऐसा बॉलिंग करेंगे जो हमने लगातार 2 मैच में देखा है राजस्थान रॉयल्स के लिए, मैं मानता हूं कि वो दिन दूर नहीं है जब एक्चुअली वो लंबे समय तक अपनी जगह कायम कर पाएंगे इंडिया के व्हाइट बॉल स्क्वाड्स के अंदर. जैसे कि मैंने कहा था, अवेश खान मैचेस खेल चुके हैं, इनकंसिस्टेंट रह चुके हैं, एक्सपेंसिव रह चुके हैं, लेकिन अभी T20 वर्ल्ड कप को ध्यान में रखते हुए, जो कि 1 जून से शुरू होगा, यदि आप भूल गए, इंडिया को अभी डेथ बॉलिंग की कमजोरी है. डेथ बॉलिंग अभी एक प्रॉब्लम है. जसप्रीत बुमराह आपके पावर प्ले स्ट्राइक बॉलर और डेथ ओवर्स बॉलर नहीं हो सकते. कौन करेगा बुमराह को सपोर्ट T20 वर्ल्ड कप में, खासकर उन वेस्ट इंडीज कंडीशंस में? आवेश खान जा चुके हैं वेस्ट इंडीज पहले, इंडियन टीम के साथ। लेकिन दो मैच में जो हमने देखा, पहले मैच में उन्होंने 3 ओवर में केवल 21 रन दिए, एक ऐसे मैच में जहां बाकी बॉलर्स 8-9 प्रति ओवर के हिसाब से जा रहे थे। कल अवेश खान ने अपने पहले ओवर में 10 रन दिए, कोई बात नहीं। उसके बाद वो जो उनका आखिरी 2 ओवर थे 18 और 20, प्रेशर सिचुएशन में, क्योंकि हालांकि राजस्थान रॉयल्स आगे थी रन रेट के हिसाब से, मैच में दिल्ली के पास बैटिंग डेप्थ था और ट्रिस्टन स्टब्स जिस तरह से खेल रहे थे, अभिषेक पोरेल जिन्होंने पिछले मैच में 10 गेंदों में 32 रन मारे, वो क्रीज पे थे। और आवेश खान का वापस आना 18वें ओवर में 8 रन देना, और फिर आखिरी ओवर में जब उनको 16-17 रन डिफेंड करने थे, जो कि आजकल के टी20 फॉर्मेट में बड़ी बात नहीं है चेसिंग टीम के लिए। जो वेरिएशन, जो यॉर्कर, जो फुल लेंथ गेंदे कल आवेश खान ने डाले, एक मैच है, लेकिन मैंने आवेश के अंदर वो क्षमता देखा कि अगर ये कंसिस्टेंटली कर पाए इस आईपीएल में, खासकर मई 1 की डेडलाइन से पहले, हो सके आवेश खान इंडिया का टी20 वर्ल्ड कप स्क्वाड में आ जाए। उनके पास एक्सपीरियंस ठीक ठाक है, अंतरराष्ट्रीय लेवल पर अभी तक कुछ खास वो नहीं कर पाए, लेकिन ऐसी डेथ बॉलिंग की जरूरत इस इंडियन टीम को बहुत बहुत जरूरत पड़ेगी टी20 वर्ल्ड कप में। और ऐसे कुछ प्लेयर्स हैं जो अभी तक फ्रिंज प्लेयर्स हैं टी20 वर्ल्ड कप के लिए। यदि आप भूल गए तो आपको बता दूं कि आवेश खान इंडिया का पिछला टी20 स्क्वाड के मेंबर थे, जो अफगानिस्तान के साथ सीरीज हुआ था जैन के महीने में। नहीं खेले एक मैच, पर इफ ही कीप्स बॉलिंग लाइक दिस, आई बिलीव he's going to push another bowler out of India's T20 World Cup squad. Because keeping in mind the T20 World Cup squad, there's a keeper spot open, there's a specialist spinner spot open, there's an all-rounder spot open, and there's one fast bowler spot open. 4 places out of 15, 16 in India's T20 squad are up for grabs. And I believe Avesh Khan, यदि वो ऐसा bowling करते रहे, खासकर डेथ ओवर्स में ऐसा नर्वलेस कूल हेडेड बॉलिंग करे, तो बंदा टी20 वर्ल्ड कप स्क्वाड जाएगा। चलिए वापस आपके सवाल पे आते हैं। बहुत बहुत सवाल है आज सुबह। भास्कर सिंह, इज ऑलरेडी अ डोमेस्टिक हीरो। पराग नंबर 4 में बैटिंग करके लास्ट ईयर विजय जा रहे थे। बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, लाइक आई सेड, इट इज दैट डोमेस्टिक सक्सेस which has seen him now get a spot at number 4, and I hope it lasts. श्रेयांश के राजस्थान के ओनर और रियान पराग के पापा फैमिली फ्रेंड्स है, और रियान पराग के ऊपर नेपोटिज्म का कंप्लेन है। होगा, लेकिन बंदा अगर फॉर्म से खेलेगा डोमेस्टिक में और राजस्थान रॉयल्स में, तो ऐसी बातें सब जूते के नीचे पिस जाएंगे। और क्या आरओआई जब 50 मैच में सिर्फ 5 में चल रहे? बिल्कुल, बट नाउ बिकॉज लाइक आई सेड, यदि उनको वो नंबर 4 पे खिलाएंगे, देखिए ताज्जुब की बात नहीं है कि एक बेहतरीन ब्रेकआउट डोमेस्टिक सीजन के बाद बंदे को नंबर 4 पर बैटिंग करने का मौका मिला। और ताज्जुब की बात नहीं है कि उसी फॉर्म को लेकर, उसी कॉन्फिडेंस को लेकर 2 मैच में बंदे ने बेहतरीन पारी के लिए। आई थिंक वी कैन ऑल एग्री दैट नन ऑफ अस हैज सीन रियान पराग बैट the way he has in the last 2 matches, especially in yesterday's match, hitting 6 sixes before. This is a different Riyan Parag. And I believe it's because he's obviously worked hard on his fitness. He's changed his attitude. Maybe he's become a bit more serious. I don't know. But he's got domestic form, which he's now taken into the IPL. And coming into the IPL, they've stopped sending him at 6-7. They've given him the most important spot of number 4. Why I say number 4 is the most important, because बटलर का फॉर्म 2 साल से लापता है। जायसवाल तो बहुत रन बनाएंगे, लेकिन संजू सैमसन इनकंसिस्टेंट है। तो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट प्लेयर्स है राजस्थान की टीम में, एक जायसवाल और दूसरा जो भी संजू सैमसन के बाद नंबर 4 पे आएगा। एंड इफ इट्स गोइंग टू बी रियान पराग बैटिंग लाइक दिस, आई बिलीव द आरओआई is now going to start showing far more than it has in the previous 3 seasons. Early days, but this is a fantastic looking Riyan Parag we're seeing. Pant looks good, but he's a test great and bad in T20 आज। बिल्कुल, बहुत बहुत साल से मैं कह रहा हूं कि मेरे सबसे फेवरेट कीपर बैट्समैन अभी भी T20s में इतना कुछ हासिल नहीं कर पाए। Forget about IPL, I'm talking about international T20s. He's not been able to do as much as many people would have expected, given how far he hits the ball. लेकिन समय की बात है, और वो दिन ज्यादा दूर नहीं है जब ऋषभ पंत पूरी तरीके से वापस आकर तीनों फॉर्मेट्स में नंबर 1 कीपर बनेंगे। Jamie and wicketkeeper debate, Jitesh seems to be winning it. Priyanshu, I've been saying this months before the IPL started. Jitesh Sharma is my number 1 keeper. I have no debate there. जो दूसरा कौन है, actual समस्या वो है। Jitesh is miles ahead of everyone else because India's T20 World Cup only has space for a T20 keeper who finishes, and Jitesh Sharma is ahead. KL Rahul can score all the runs he wants to. He's going to be only playing as an opener. Or Rohit or Jaiswal हमारे openers है. Sanju Samson can score all the runs he wants to. He's batting at number 3 for RR and number 3 पे विराट कोहली batting करेंगे T20 World Cup में. Ishan Kishan, same thing. Who is going to be India's second keeper? It's going to be a keeper who floats and who specifically flexible in the middle order. So Jitesh number 1. Who the second keeper is? Anyone's guess, because there's no viable second keeper who's put his hand up so far in 1 week of the IPL. Good morning, Shikhar. Riyan Parag, Ranji to खेल रहा था, unlike some other cricketers, Alesi available, RR back to him, let's see how far he goes. बिल्कुल सही है. He played domestic cricket, unlike some superstars. The way Parag pulled Nokia's 145 in front of square, he looks like an Indian top order test player. I wouldn't say top order test player, but definitely there was shades of Virat Kohli in that shot that he played. So again, 2 innings, but a lot to gauge from these 2 innings. Avesh looked really good and Chahal was also good. Sad to see Chahal not given us 4 overs. Chahal ka thoda aajkal bura waqt chal raha hai. Avesh. Already praised him. But Pant never found his T20 mojo before accident as well. So fans shouldn't expect. Bilkul, I've been saying this. Keep your expectations very, very, very low. Pant will definitely come back because before the accident, he got to a stage where he had upped his 1 day game with that 100 in England to a level where he was looking at more T20 games. Nahi ho paya, but again, I'll be very, very happy if Pant comes back and does what he did before in Test cricket, because I mean we have options in T20s. We have no options in 1 day and Tests. जय भाई क्या हो रहा है आईपीएल में सारे उस्ताद लोग होमर दे रहे हैं विजय शंकर भी मारेगा क्या इस बार नहीं विजय शंकर का तो ज्यादा उम्मीद नहीं है बिकॉज ही इज बैटिंग एट अ वेरी टफ स्पॉट नंबर 5 के प्लेयर है नहीं वो जय भाई कैन यू टेल द स्टोरी ऑफ संदीप शर्मा एंड व्हाई ही डिडंट प्ले आई मीन आई डोंट नो संदीप शर्मा एट ऑल but he just lacked the pace. He lacked the pace, and he got his chances at a time when India was going through their best ever golden generation of fast bowlers. और जब उनको मौका मिला 2 मैच ज्यादा कुछ कर नहीं पाए, but अभी भी बहुत बेहतरीन गेंदबाजी करते हैं डोमेस्टिक में और राजस्थान के लिए वो बहुत ही एक अंडररेटेड या अंडरस्टेटेड खिलाड़ी रह चुके हैं. बट रही बात इंडिया की बहुत बहुत फाइट थी उस समय टीम में आने का एंड ही जस्ट डिडंट डू इनफ इन हिज 2 मैचेस. ही वाज डिसेंट आई रिमेंबर, बट ऐसे बहुत बहुत इनसे भी आगे बॉलर हैं जिनको ज्यादा मौका नहीं मिले, बट उसके पीछे मुझे कोई और कहानी नहीं है दोस्त. मुझे लगता है फॉर द वर्ल्ड कप अर्शदीप बुमराह सिराज बॉलिंग अटैक सही रहेगा. अवेश को बैकअप रख सकते हैं. यार अर्शदीप का तो बहुत बहुत बुरे दिन चल रहे हैं. सिराज के ठीक ठाक दिन चल रहे हैं, लेकिन सिराज इज नॉट अ नेचुरल T20 bowler I would expect to do the job at a World Cup. It's Bumrah and I don't see 2 other viable. In theory, Arshdeep and Siraj should be the top 3 along with Bumrah, but I have doubts over these 2 bowlers right now. Hopefully before May 1st, Siraj keeps on getting better and Arshdeep comes back. Because Filal Arshdeep, not the Arshdeep I would want to take to a World Cup. Our appreciation should be loud as our criticism was of Riyan Parag. Bilkul sahi kaha, Sushant. Bilkul. Appreciate when someone is doing well. Think RR could have pushed Parag up to order number 4 in earlier season as well. Bilkul. That's what I'm saying. Yes, he was inconsistent. Yes, he was known more for his Instagram profile and the Bihu dance and for smiling on the boundary. Always been a gun fielder. Is not used as a bowler anymore. But you have to also kind of admit that jo batting वो कर रहे थे वो क्यों इतना सफल नहीं था, क्योंकि वो बहुत ही एक मुश्किल नंबर 6-7 रोल पे जॉब कर रहे थे. हो सके नंबर 4 पे खेलकर बंदा बहुत आगे जाए. जुरेल शुड बी सेकंड चॉइस कीपर, सीम्स अ लॉट मोर कंफर्टेबल. ही शुड शिखर, लेकिन इस आईपीएल में वो कीपिंग नहीं कर रहे हैं. तो जो इंसान 2 महीने से कीपिंग नहीं कर रहा है T20 फॉर्मेट में, अचानक आप उसे कैसे ले जाओगे? दूसरी बात, ही इज बैटिंग इन द एग्जैक्ट सेम पोजीशन as Jitesh Sharma. So you're getting a carbon copy, but a carbon copy who's not keeping wickets. I would rather have the second keeper be someone who's a bit more flexible. कौन है वो? ये तो समय बताएगा. JB, whom will you pick in T20? Akshar or Jadeja? Akshar, hands down. Jadeja at 36 and his diminishing batting returns does not make it to my T20 World Cup squad. The way Ashwin smacked those sixes off Nokia. Good and bad. Good for Ashwin, but bad that they have nobody else but Ashwin to go bat at that position. Confusing. Regarding Sandeep, we don't need another भागने वाले स्पिनर, नहीं नहीं ऐसे तो नहीं कहूंगा मैं उनके बारे में। Khalil Ahmed looks improved. Also, Khalil can crank up to 145. He's always been to me an impressive bowler, लेकिन थोड़े वो off the boil जाते हैं. So good to see him do well for a very average bowling attack. बुमराह जब प्रेशर में होता है तब बुमराह बहुत दम लगाता है और यॉर्कर ट्राई करता है। ऑपोजिशन को बुमराह की ये टैक्टिक्स पता है, फिर भी बुमराह को मारना बहुत बहुत मुश्किल है। Hello, Manav, how are you? Your thoughts on should ICT take a page from ROI's notebook on giving long rope jumps like Riyan Parag, Jurel Jaiswal? Bilkul, we discussed this throughout the 5 test series. If the BCCI has not woken up to the potential and the impact that youngsters give, look at the 2021 tour of Australia. Youngsters had a big role to say in that series. Look at the 5 test match series. India were one down after Hyderabad. Your highest run scorer was a 22-year-old by the name of Yashasvi Jaiswal. The biggest find of the series was Dhruv Jurel. Sarfaraz Khan came in, had an impact. Devdutt Padikkal looked very good on his debut innings. The more youngsters you play, the better your results will be. So I've been shouting to the roofs for the last 18 months. Do not take these big seniors to the T20 World Cup. They've had their time, they've served the country immensely. It's time to send domestic players, invest in youth. Just like you invested in Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, all those youngsters, why aren't you investing in these youngsters now? Seniors को एक तरफ करो, सलाम करो, शुक्रिया अदा करो for the fantastic things that the seniors have done. But the seniors collectively are not winning you trophies. यदि आपको trophy जीतना है, you need to send 4 or 5 youngsters. But when you have a youngster like Rinku Singh, who's been outstanding in his brief India career, and then you bring back seniors, and Rinku Singh will spend the whole T20 World Cup wearing a bib and carrying drinks, क्या फायदा है? It's something I've been saying for a long time. Forget RR. The RR model is something we're discussing now after one Riyan Parag innings. The model is there. The model was set within the Indian cricket system in that 2021 tour of Australia, when due to some unfortunate situations of players getting injured every match, you had to invest in youth. Why aren't you investing in youth now? You saw the results a month ago with Jaiswal, with Dhruv Jurel, with Sarfaraz. Bring more youngsters into the white ball setup too. कल भी पोरेल को अक्षर के ऊपर भेजा. Why don't अक्षर promoted? बहुत शोज हम कर चुके हैं दोस्तों अक्रॉस फॉर्मेट्स जहां पे हमने इस बात के बारे में बात करी कि अक्षर के साथ ऐसा क्यों होता है. I don't know. Avesh is highly thought of by Dravid, but he's a double-edged sword. When it goes bad from, it's absolutely a nightmare. It is. Like I said, but if he keeps bowling like this, he's going to be a very viable death overs bowler for the T20 World Cup. हम क्लासन सूरहेड को कैसे आउट करेंगे T20 वर्ल्ड कप में, तब की बात सोच लेंगे भाई. जय भाई एक लेफ्ट आर्म बॉलर स्विंग रेशियो में एक एडेड एडवांटेज होता है, और अगर अर्शदीप को चांस मिला तो वो फोड़ देगा शमी की तरह, जो कि लेस एक्सपेक्टेशन मोर रिजल्ट्स. बिल्कुल, लेकिन बुमराह के बाद अर्शदीप सिंह इंडिया का सबसे एक्सपीरियंस्ड T20 बॉलर है. अगर हम पेस बॉलिंग की बात कर रहे हैं, 2.5 साल से बंदा कह रहा है, खेल रहा है, 50 विकेट पार कर चुका है. अब वो इनएक्सपीरियंस नहीं है, अब वो एक सीनियर बॉलर है. और एक सीनियर बॉलर को इस तरह का बॉलिंग करते हुए देख इस आईपीएल में, ही इज बीन एवरेज एंड द नो बॉल प्रॉब्लम्स. आई हैव जेन्युइन कंसर्न्स अबाउट अर्शदीप सिंह फॉर्म. उनके पास 5-6 मैच है सिलेक्शन से पहले. मुझे कोई डाउट नहीं है कि बंदा वर्ल्ड कप जाएगा, बट अर्शदीप सिंह जो पिछले हम 3-4 महीने से देख रहे हैं, ये वो अर्शदीप नहीं है जिन्होंने बेहतरीन शुरुआत करी. तो he's a very experienced player now in the Indian setup. Why Dhruv is not playing in the V? यार T20 क्रिकेट में नंबर 6-7 पे आकर जब आपके पास 7-8 गेंदे खेलने को मिलते हैं, वी में कौन खेलता है भाई? T20 फॉर्मेट है भाई. आपको जो कल उन्होंने शॉट मारा आउट होकर, कोई बात नहीं. You have to try on. You're batting in the death overs. Batting in the death overs, playing in the V is not going to get you runs. Now, playing in the V is more of a traditional test format. T20, look at Surya Kumar Yadav. वो कहाँ V में खेलते हैं? ये T20 क्रिकेट है. ध्रुव जुरैल नाम का प्लेयर का बहुत बहुत एडवांटेज है कि वो जिगरा वाला प्लेयर है, but he's batting in a very tough situation. And finishers, especially in the T20 format, who get very few overs to bat, them playing in the V doesn't make sense to me at all. उमरान मलिक को क्या हो गया पता नहीं यार, उसका तो पत्ता कट गया. Mumbai Indians is divided in 2 groups. We're talking about Riyan Parag, Avesh Khan, and R.R. Ravishankar. It's not a show about Mumbai Indians. And anyways, I've done 3 dedicated shows, as you know, on this same topic. So let's not go off topic once again. Okay? Any more questions regarding Riyan Parag's excellent innings and Riyan Parag 2.0? How many of you think Avesh Khan is a good shot for the T20 World Cup? How many of you have noticed कि 9 में से 9 टीमें इस बार जो जीते हैं वो घर पर खेल के जीते हैं. Visiting team 9 में से 1 मैच अब तक नहीं जीता. Is that a trend you think we'll see in the World Cup, in the IPL? Let me know. Baki, we got a big weekend coming up. Jayboy, if I have to pick bowling lineup for T20 World Cup, Akshar, Bumrah, Arsh, Kuldeep, Avesh. It's a good lineup. Hardik Pandya will be one of those names. So Akshar Patel probably won't get as many chances. But yes, I would definitely pick Akshar over Jadeja. Bolt ko last over क्यों नहीं दिया? Good question. I was watching the TV yesterday and I was thinking, अच्छा बोल्ट का एक है, but my gut feeling was he's going to give it to Avesh because Avesh has been very good so far in 2 matches. But Bolt, I think Bolt has evolved into such probably the best power play bowler now. So yeah, it could have gone both ways, but I'm glad that Avesh Khan with the T20 World Cup looming was given that job by Sanju Samson. As a captain, Sanju over Pant. Pant didn't use six bowler or over 19, 14 or put. Yes, Rishabh Pant is clearly not as settled as a T20 captain as his opposite number, Sanju Samson was. Sanju Samson, whatever choice he made yesterday, it worked off. Pant Pant has a long way to go. Even had he not got injured, his leadership skills were not that impressive. But ठीक है, like I've said many times, the fact that Pant is even playing cricket less than 15 months after a potentially life-ending accident, I'm not going to be harsh on him. Let's give him 5 6 matches before we start bringing out the knives. RR had to bat when pitch was difficult initially, so this RR victory is even more great. Bilkul, it's a fantastic win. Your thoughts on our Ashwin? Should Ashwin play the T20 World Cup? Absolutely not. Why would you take Ashwin? Why would you take Ashwin? Why did they take Ashwin to the previous T20 World Cup 2 years ago? It proved a disaster. They took him to the One Day World Cup. He played 1 match. Ashwin should be nowhere near India's white ball squads. He's a test legend. He's recently gone past 500 wickets. He has 2.5 years left in what has been an outstanding test career. Why would you waste him and block some youngster spot? He's got nothing to offer in T20s and one days right now. How the hell did DC manage to lose some RR being 58 10 overs is mind boggling. Sanju seems a lot more instinctive. Look, DC's bowling is one of the weaker ones in this IPL. Their batting is definitely one of the weaker ones. They had a terrible last season. Um, Pant coming back has given them motivation. It's given them a solid figure, a solid presence behind the stumps. It's given them a very solid batting option. But अंधे बहरे को पता है कि इस दिल्ली टीम में ना तो bowling skill है ना batting depth to consistently win matches. I don't see them winning more than 6 matches with this bowling and this batting lineup. So do not be surprised if DC keep losing. Do not be surprised if they get into positions to win. Just like yesterday, they were in a fantastic position. But this is DC. For years, they've just not had good players on paper. Where is DC's Indian core? How can you be so reliant on David Warner? Very poor T20 franchise. I have zero hopes for them. For me, Delhi's finishing at best 9 out of 10 this season. अगर आवेश की वजह से हार जाती तो संजू के ऊपर बहुत प्रेशर होता. ऐसा रिस्क लेना सही होता है क्या भाई? T20 का नाम ही रिस्क है दोस्त. आप रिस्क नहीं लोगे तो कहाँ जीतोगे? धोनी ने अपना पूरा करियर बनाया रिस्क लेकर. Avesh is surely going to gain strength, same as Arshdeep. I hope so. Both of them can be seen as spear attacking coming years, should be taken to the World Cup. Definitely. Your thoughts on Priti Shaw? Why Shaw is not playing? I think Saurabh Ganguly said it yesterday. He's just not in good nick. If Priti Shaw is not good enough to get into the impact player pool of 5 for a floundering franchise like DC, the writing's on the wall. He has not scored runs for a long time. He's overweight. It's sad. I said this yesterday on the Cricket Next show. It is so sad that to me, since Sachin Tendulkar, and I've been watching 28 years of Indian cricket, to my mind, since Sachin Tendulkar, the most naturally gifted player to come out of Mumbai, Prithvi Shaw, has wasted his career. Of course, injuries didn't help. But if you cannot get into the starting 11 of one of the worst, if not the worst, IPL franchise, your career is. I mean, imagine Ravi Shankar teams are selected based on how a player is batting in the nets. Can you imagine how bad Prithvi Shaw must be batting in the nets that Ricky Ponting and Saurav Ganguly don't pick him? Only Prithvi Shaw to blame, nobody else. If any team is going to lose at home, it's MI. The home crowd is hands down hostile. They're not going to have any home support. देख लेंगे जब मुंबई का अगले मैच होगा. Stubbs is a big positive for DC. Yes, he is fantastic. But don't think DC will continue with Bowie. I mean, no offense, but Ricky Bowie, what is Ricky Bowie doing? Again, that's why I asked you all 5 minutes ago. What is DC's score? You're sending आपके पास और कोई खिलाड़ी नहीं है. आपने बेचारे रिकी बुई को नंबर 3 पे भेजा, नानरे बर्गर और ट्रेंट बोल्ट को खेलने के लिए. Delhi is broken on so many levels. Home advantage works in IPL. I mean, this year, 9 out of 9 matches have been won by the home team. Riyan Parag hit 58-19 in latter part of the innings. Bilkul, he did, absolutely. Ricky Ponting is dictating. Ponting wants only Australian player and Delhi Capitals. Well, if it was like that, maybe there would be more Australian players. Jake Fraser McGurk would have played by now. Um, the problem is they don't have any other overseas players. Lungi Nagiri injured हो गया, एक fast bowler. आपने एक fast bowler को किससे replace किया? एक uncapped Australian opener से. Definitely, if Australia had more Aussie players, I would see them playing. They don't have an Australian spinner. They don't have an Australian pace bowler. So I can't really say that Ricky Ponting is forcing the Australian hand. Yes, when your openers happen to be David Warner and Mitchell Marsh, David Warner has achieved what very few Australian T20 openers have achieved, and Mitchell Marsh is going to captain them in the T20 World Cup. So it makes sense to me, perfect logical sense, that DC is opening with David Warner and Mitchell Marsh. But more than Australia angle, how bad is DC's Indian core? They've never had a strong Indian core, and that's why they've been such an inconsistent team. Ponting is playing Marsh and Warner's opener to give them match practice for WTC. It is, and that's totally fine because David Warner is not going to bat at number 5. Mitchell Marsh is not going to bat at number 5. These are two openers. I mean, much better than Stephen Smith. What a disaster it is. Australian cricket is opening with Stephen Smith. It's proved a disaster. People were telling me 1 year ago, I think it was Ravi Shankar, that Stephen Smith is going to open at the T20 World Cup. I was laughing then and I'm still laughing. Steve Smith, a T20 opener, ऑस्ट्रेलिया को थोड़ा देर लगा समझने में उस बात को जो मैंने 1.5 साल पहले कहा था, 1 साल पहले कहा था कि स्टीवन स्मिथ ओपनिंग नहीं करेंगे. Australia's best openers right now for the T20 World Cup are David Warner and Mitchell Marsh. So it makes perfect sense that Ponting is using them as openers because they are openers in T20. Ponting should morally leave DC. He's not a good coach. I heard last year after DC finished last that Ponting's contract was not going to be extended. But again, here he is. So I don't know what the reason is. आज का लगता है गंभीर और कोहली फिर भिड़ेंगे भाई. अगर भिड़े फिर से ना तो भाई क्या ही बोलेंगे यार. शर्म आनी चाहिए गौतम गंभीर को इस लेवल के प्लेयर को with the public figure he now is to stoop down to that level. My home team Delhi looked good only when Sehwag played. It's a miserable side ever since. Even then, despite having some good players, I mean, barring that first year when they had McGraw and De Villiers and Dilshan and all, it's always been a very poor team. If Parag performs very well, I feel Parag should play ICC World Cup because Parag can play good. No, it's too soon because May 1st is the deadline for teams to announce the squads. I think someone like a Shivam Dube, who's done very well for India in the past 3-4 months, is probably ahead. If Dube is batting at number 4, I mean, Surya Kumar Yadav will bat at number 4. Uske baad there's Dube, there's Hardik Pandya, there's Rinku Singh. Definitely, if Riyan Parag continues this form, next year, once all these senior players retire, definitely he'll come. But he's not going to this T20 World Cup. There's more experience and better players lined up right now. आज लॉकी खेलेगा क्या? वो पता नहीं. खेलना चाहिए. Your thoughts on Chahal? He bowled very well yesterday. Yeah, you expect something like that from Chahal. I mean, the guy's been around. He's the leading wicket taker in the IPL. So very good to see him bowl yesterday. Pre-LSG, GT, DC had a good score, but never expected Ricky Bowie coming at 3. Again, I mean, I've seen Sarfaraz Khan come at number 3. I've seen Lalit Yadav get promoted. So DC have always been playing these strange calls, these strange cards. So, I mean, they tried Rahane, they tried Stephen Smith at number 3. My gosh, what a blunder. They tried so many players. So, कल रिकी भुई है, कल कोई और होगा. 3 मैच के बाद वो बेचारे पृथ्वी शॉ को वापस देंगे, वो फिर से नहीं खेलेगा, फिर लोग उसके बारे में कहेंगे. DC are just like I said, broken on so many levels. A friend messaged me in the previous 3 days ago saying, "Who has the worst fans, DC or RCB?" And I replied saying, "DC have fans." जय भाई वो गंभीर है, वो लेजेंड लीग में श्री को फिक्सर बोल सकता है, आपको लगता है वो कोहली को छोड़ेगा अगर कुछ हुआ तो? बात तो सही है वैसे, we can expect such things, but if I were Gautam Gambhir in my new role as you know, as whatever mentor, coach or whatever it is of KKR, I would try to fix a few problems on the field. Sending Sunil Narayan to open, भाई साहब वो आपके लिए चला 2017 में जब आप कप्तान थे, 7-8 साल के बाद आप वही वही अप्रोच वही टैक्टिक्स नहीं यूज कर सकते ना 2024 में. Your thoughts on Manish Pandey? Will Manish score big runs today? Is Manish Pandey even in the 11? Which 11 is going to pick Manish Pandey? I don't see Manish Pandey starting very few matches, very many matches. Is Manish Pandey even that good to start in any IPL teams 11 these days? I don't think so. Riyan Parag is prone to getting distracted by success. Has he had success to get distracted? I don't think so. What success has he had? He's done nothing in 3 years with RR. So I don't know how he can get distracted. It'll be good for him if he manages this aspect. I mean, he's only just had success yesterday, so a little premature to say that he's prone to getting distracted. He hasn't had success. You have to have success, Manish, to get distracted by it. And the guy's had a terrible IPL record up till now. Jay, by hot take, but Gigi should be next Indian coach. भाई गौतम गंभीर अगर इंडियन टीम के कोच बन गए ना भाई, मैं तो क्रिकेट छोड़ना देखना छोड़ दूंगा. Nothing to suggest he's coaching material at all, with all due respect to he was a fantastic captain. I still say he was, after Dhoni, the most tactically sound IPL captain. दो बार जीती KKR, 12 और 14. I know Rohit Sharma's won many trophies, but tactically, after Dhoni, to put the pressure, to get the best out of teams. For me, Gautam Gambhir ranks only second to MS Dhoni. But right now, in this current scenario, nah, nahi ho payega. Your thoughts on Sandeep Sharma bowling? Already discussed earlier in this live stream. Riyan scored in domestic. Yes, already discussed. Now we're just getting into repeating ourselves. Anyways, my friends, मैं आपसे कल मिलूंगा. डबल हेडर कल है. आज का मैच रिव्यू करेंगे कल आपके साथ. Thanks for joining. You have a great. It's Friday. The weekend's here. Have a very good weekend. Stick around. मैं आपसे कल मिलूंगा. Take care. Jai Hind.